If you've been planning to buy a brand new budget smartphone, just wait because this just arrived. This is the new Redmi 15, successor to the Redmi 13. Yeah, Redmi skipped the 14. And the question is this the budget phone to buy? What are the upgrades? This is Rupesh, you're watching Sillycorns, and time to check out the new Redmi 15. So this is the brand new Redmi 15 5G, and the first thing to note is that unlike a lot of budget phones, this comes with everything you need in the box. You get this matte black case, you get a screen protector pre-applied, there's a 33-watt charger in the box with a cable, so yes, all sorted. Now coming to the actual device, the Redmi 15, the design is something I personally like a lot, especially considering the price. See, we've got this in the frosted white color and it's got this glittering pattern on the back that changes with light. I also like it's got a matte finish, so no fingerprints at all. It's also got this metal camera deco, and this is not just for aesthetics, this is supposed to help in terms of heat dissipation. And this design has all the functionality you need. You've got an IR blaster on the top, a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, this is IP64 rated. You also get the dual SIM slot in hybrid fashion, so micro SD cards are supported. And even though this is a fairly big phone, I like the in-hand feel. I mean, it weighs 217 grams, but the weight distribution is good, and this is pretty sleek at 8.4mm, especially when you consider the fact that this is packing in a massive 7000 mAh silicon carbon battery. Yes, the largest in this segment. And yeah, we are still kind of testing things, but no matter how extensively used this phone, this still lasts for a couple of days easily. Plus, this humongous battery means the Redmi 15 can double down as a power bank and reverse charge other devices at 18 watts. Here's fast charging for your Pixels and iPhones. Now, another upgrade comes in the display. It's not AMOLED, but it's the biggest and the smoothest screen in the segment. You get a 6.9-inch FHD plus IPS LCD, and this has the 144Hz refresh rate, TUV certification for better eye comfort, and yes, the bezels are on the bigger side, but this display is nice. The colors are punchy, it's sharp and nice, and at 800 nits, outdoor usage is no problem. Now, this only goes to 144Hz in certain apps and games, and other times it's 120Hz, but it is smooth to use and it's got adaptive refresh rate, so it automatically switches depending on what you're using. Now, do note that this does not have HDR support, and YouTube only supports a max 1080p playback, no 4K. And when it comes to speakers, this has a single bottom firing speaker, which gets pretty loud, but yeah, no stereo speakers. Now, moving on to the cameras, it packs a 50-megapixel primary camera and an AI sensor on the rear, and an 8-megapixel shooter on the front. And as far as picture quality goes, the 50-megapixel camera does a pretty good job in good lighting with sharp photos. HDR performance is good too. Colors are slightly boosted, but maybe that's good for social media. The portrait shots are also good with nice depth, although edge detection can be a miss if you have hair like this. The low-light photos aren't perfect, I mean it's a budget phone after all, and your videos are limited to 1080p 30fps. Now, as for the front camera, selfies look pretty good when there's good light, although the colors do seem a bit boosted, but other than that, it's pretty decent. Now, in terms of performance, this is packing the Snapdragon 6S Gen 3, which is a tweaked version of the Snapdragon 695 we've seen in a lot of phones. Plus, now the base variant comes with a 6GB LPDDR4X RAM, yes, no 4GB variant, and there's 128GB of UFS 2.2 storage. Now, these are the benchmark scores from the phone, so not the most powerful phone in the segment, but the optimization seems good. The phone doesn't throttle or overheat at all. Games like BGMI and COD run at 40-45 FPS. And yeah, this is not an out-and-out gaming phone, but you can do some casual gaming. See, the overall phone using experience is also pretty good for a budget smartphone. What I do like is the 6S Gen 3 means that we get all the useful AI features we use now. I mean, circle search is here, you also get Gemini, and there's even Gemini Live, so no cut downs here. In fact, the Redmi 15 comes with AI features like AI Eraser, which is always handy, AI Sky, which lets you change the sky, something you would know if you've used a Redmi phone before, and this is actually better now. This now optimizes subject to go with the new Sky. And this is running HyperOS 2 based on Android 15, and this will get 2 OS updates and 4 years of security patches, which is pretty good. And your HyperOS 2 means all the cool lock screen customization, all the features you want. The only thing missing are the animations. Yes, there are almost zero animations here, probably to make the performance faster. Also, there are these pre-installed apps and games, the glance lock screen, but yeah, you can disable these. Now, connectivity-wise, you get 7 5G bands, there's Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 5.1 support. Now, if you compare it to the Redmi 13, it's clear that this is a pretty big upgrade. I mean, this brings a design that looks great, feels great, and has all the functionality. It's got a bigger 144Hz display, the massive 7000 mAh battery is awesome. And coming to the price, this starts at rupees 14,999. So I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think of the Redmi 15 at this price? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.